Welcome again to the weekly session. In this session, what we basically do is look at the market trend, momentum, and sort of anticipate where it could go the next week. And look at a couple of charts, strong sectors, and also at the end, before the question Q&A session, we also discuss something related to how we can improve our trading on. Okay, so first let's quickly go through the regular stuff. So breadth, last week what we had was we had a down, the trend was down in the shorter term, while positionally weekly we still were on an uptrend, because we are still in an ascending channel. In spite of being in a short term, we were actually at the channel support, so the anticipation was that there might be a bounce very soon. What we have right now is that bounce indeed came on 14th, was when we had a clear signal of the bounce, and we are still trending up. Momentum, like I said, momentum was decreasing last week. There was some sort of weekly bearish divergence as well in momentum, but once we had the bounce, it is increasing in all time frames currently. Anticipation last week we had that the bounce was very near, but we should wait for the confirmation, and we also discussed what are the confirmation we would be seeking last week. What we have right now is we have the bounce, and we comfortably are above the channel, ascending channel midline as well, and we at least the anticipation is that without any bearish influence, we would probably see the Nifty 500, the general market move towards the ascending channel top. That's what I think. Sectors last week, PSUs, autos, the regular guys, power, these were strong. The same thing again this week. Industrials and capital goods has been really strong last week, and again these are the groups which have already been strong in the last 2 years or so. Auto, metals, PSUs, railway, shipbuilders, and like just speak any PSUs, they are still one of the strongest sectors, right? So we will also quickly look at the charts. Okay, so now quickly let's pause here and look at the indices to exactly see what I have been telling you. Right. So this is what I've been talking about last week. Yeah, May 10th, last week, 7 days ago, Friday, we met here, and this was what's right now. We are clearly on the uptrend, and the anticipation is that we should at least hit the channel uptrend. Sorry, not uptrend, the channel resistance. And after that we'll see, depending upon how the breadth and stuff looks like, if the volumes come in or not. We will then sort of anticipate ki are we actually going down till here or going down till the mid, and then again sort of there is also a possibility that who knows, that this ascending channel itself might be broken out, and then we will increase the momentum, which will be something like this, and we will have another ascending channel with a higher slope. So all those things, but they are like not currently right now, so we just can't, at least from the kind of price action data I look at, we just cannot anticipate for that long. But for now, at least this channel resistance could be definitely anticipated. Quickly, couple of indices which might set up. Okay, see the strong names we all know. So I would like to discuss a couple of names which probably would set up. So see, Nifty Pharma and Nifty Health is still, this big base is a really good base. You can also see volatility, a contraction pattern inside the base, which is a truly healthy sign of a accumulatory base. Okay. So this every time it is pulling back, it is contracting, and so My apologies. I should draw the resistance line correctly. So the resistance line would be, joining these two. So any breakout from this would be a good time to hunt for good pharma stocks. And I believe a lot of pharma stocks are already setting up and breaking out. My voice is breaking. Okay, just back to where we were. So I was wanted to quickly show you a couple of sort of groups which right now it's basing, and that's why they will not have relative strength, but they are very likely to sort of break out. And the idea is not to just catch high relative strength stock, but the idea is to catch relatively strong groups which are also at a low risk point. So Nifty pharma, Nifty healthcare, these are two sectors, I mean sister sectors, which are looking good and possibly could also give you very positionally very low risk state. Okay. Another one which has been subdued recently is the oil and gas sector, and this very big base also looks like uh, it once the uptrend begins, it will have legs. Okay. um, oh, hold on. Yeah, no, I wasn't sharing anything. Okay, now I'm sharing. Thanks, Prashant. All right, should be visible now. Oh man. All right. So yeah, what I was trying to say is there are a couple of sectors, which is Nifty Pharma, Nifty Healthcare, um, also S&P, BSE, oil and gas. These are some of the sectors which were very strong at some point of time and has been basing. And when these big bases break out, they will provide really high risk reward opportunities, especially as a positional trader. Okay. And if you see some other sectors, they're already on an uptrend. So these are, well, for swing trading you can still get in, but as a positional sort of bets, these you need to have some little bigger base breakouts, right? So for example, a couple of big base breakouts today we discussed where IRFC and I don't know on the off the top of my head, but basically have a bigger base. Anything more, at least 20 days, anything more than 50 is really good. Okay, so basically, just to wrap up, we are on an uptrend. Nothing to worry. Momentum is still increasing. Here, the trend is on an up on a shorter term time frame. Momentum is up and looks to increase. Well, on a 20-day time frame also looks to increase. ADX momentum also crossed and increasing. So nothing. Everything looks fine till now, right? So there is no absolute source of the only problem was that this whole uptrend, this whole bounce was not accompanied by volume. So if you also see people analyzing accumulation data from volumes were not very happy, and so was I, because you can see that the total volume here was like almost at the lower end of the volume. Okay, but slowly it looks like the volumes are starting to catch up, and so looks from almost every angle, at least in the short term, looks really good. um all right, so let's go to the presentation again. Interesting charts. Yeah, Hong Seng is still very strong, and there is no hope or pullback, at least for now. Gold and silver have bounced and at around again, uh, at around their previous highs. I expect both of them to pull back slightly, and also form like a second T here. So this is T1, possibly a T2, both, and yeah. So Hong Sang just doesn't want to stop. So China also looks really good for now. Okay. All right. So let's get into the meat of today's discussion. I'll take questions if you guys have any from here, but I think it's pretty straightforward. So I'm more interested today in talking about complete trading system. Okay, and I'm sure that uh, although in some way or form we do have everyone, all of us here who are trading, we do have a complete system, but I'd still believe that some of the key areas can be done better. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll basically go through what a complete system trading system looks like, and I will also give an example, uh, keeping in mind a trader, short-term trader, swing trader who trades exclusively stocks which are in FNO. Okay, how would his system look like? Okay, one of a lot of different type of system which a swing trader trading FNO stocks can have. One of the system which could look like. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do today, and also possibly give you another example of another kind of trading system. And in all of that, I would first like to basically make it absolutely clear that no, whatever I show today doesn't mean that it should be your trading system, right? It's just one example of a complete trading system, and every system is governed by your personal trades, because that's your system. Your system should take into account how much time you can afford on trading, right? So for example, right now, because I am doing this full time, I can sit in front of my computer 9:15 to 3:30. I can afford that time, right? So uh, last year my systems were a little different because I couldn't afford the time. So right now, since I can afford that time, I can afford to have a system which uh, requires me to be in front of the screen. Do I want to have that system? That's a different question, right? So so it's very personal, and number one is the time you can afford to the screen. Now, second is this is something really personal. What's your risk tolerance? Someone can see their account curve go to minus 20, like 20% drawdown. Someone might not. So how much risk you are able to take, that then defines the kind of risk, stop losses, etc., the kind of setups you can trade, because not all setups will provide you the 2%, 4%, 5% risk. Next is holding time frame. So this will basically, are you a swing trader, are you a positional trader, are you a day trader, that kind of stuff, right? And at last, this is also very important. Emotional ease and psychological biases also should come. If anyone, can you please mute yourself if you don't have a question? I am having some trouble. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So emotional ease and psychological bias is also something which you need to factor in your system. So an example of this would be, there is a problem many people face who cannot buy a stock which has broken out and at 9 to 10%, 6% up for the day. They just cannot buy that stock, although they would probably know that next week this stock is going to be trading 10-15% higher than where it is right now, but it's just because today already it is 6 to 7 to 10% up, I just cannot pull the trigger, hai na? So rather than, yes, you can fight that thing, but you can also, rather than fighting that emotional unease, be a little clever about it and design your system in such a way that you get into stock which is just starting to break out, hai na? So all of these things will determine a complete trading system for you, and that is why no two trader system will be exactly the same, hai na? So the next question is, what does a system, a complete system has? The answer is very simple. The complete system should uh, should answer all of these following 5 questions. Okay, first question is when to trade. Matlab, right now is the market conducive to trading or not, है ना? So you have to have a system to answer that question. Now, of course, that answer would not be like a switch, which is 0 and 100. There will be a gradient. You know, right now the market is so. Right now the market is really bullish. Right now the market is not a place where you can go long, swing trading long, right? The second question your system should provide you is an answer to what to trade. Okay, there are around 2000 stocks in NSE. NSE. So some people might trade any stock in Nifty 500. Some people might trade only FNO stocks. Some people might just trade the indices, है ना? Some people yeah, so I don't know. So these are the few things which people can trade. So one is to have a bucket or sub buckets ki I will trade only this, and a lot of things also then determine why is that. You know, some people just would like to the problem of them is too many stocks. So too many stocks, people should just concentrate on a small bucket of stocks, or maybe just index trade, है ना? For some people their liquidity is just very low to trade something which is a micro or a small cap, so they should more focus on the bigger larger cap stocks. And the more importantly, which out of, let's say उस bucket में 100 stocks, there are 100 stocks, out of those 100 which should I pick today to trade, and that is the question your system should answer. The third very important question is to where to buy, है ना? And I'll come each of them one by one. The fourth system is how much and how many. This is very simple. The fifth is where to sell. So if you should do an exercise today and see how many of these how many of these questions you already have an in-depth answer to. Okay, that is something I want everyone to do that. Now, going a little forward, when to trade is basically M of cancelling. For me, for a swingo positional long only trader, I would like to trade only when the markets are bullish. And how do I make sure that? Every day I talk about the breadth indicators, the momentum indicators, the volume indicators. Those are the things which I see, and from which I determine that is it a risk on time or a risk of time. Now that is me. As many people also play both side of the move, right? So for them, from looking at the same data, their inferences would be a little different in the sense when to trade. So the second question, what to trade? Like I already discussed, you need to have a subset of market. Like for me right now, because my account is very small, I am fine trading any stock which is at least like 1000 to 2000 market crore and above, right, which has some amount of liquidity in it. I'm okay trading that, but many of them might not. So after that, the next question is what to trade really should be only governed by one thing, which is relative strength. Okay, so for me, if I have to go long, quick example is, let's say if you guys are trading FNO stocks, and you guys are like, if I am trading FNO stocks, let's say, and I'm a long trader, है ना, I would have probably very less business to do anything with HDFC Bank in the last 2 years, because HDFC Bank was a stock which was showing very poor relative strength. So that is, the relative strength should be the only criteria to answer what to trade, है ना? Third thing is where to buy. Now this is basically depends upon your setup. Now depending upon what setup you trade, which can be an anticipation setup, which means even before the whatever price action is happening, you get in. So buy before breakout. So there is a breakout trading, which means that on the day of the breakout happening, you are buying that, है ना? The other one is anticipating that breakout is happening, or you are a pullback trader. Whenever a stock pulls back and is starting to move, that is PBC, pullback confirmation trader, or pullback anticipation trader, है ना? So these are the mota 4 different things which will determine what kind of a setup you are trading. And again, if you go deeper into setup, then there are like everyone has 5-6 rules ki ye mera setup hai, and this is also very personal. Okay, like for example, for me in general, I trade two things: flags and big base breakouts, and depending upon the market conditions, the kind of entry I take inside the in those setups would be a little different, right? So uber bullish, I am a breakout trader. If not uber bullish, then I'll be a pullback confirmation trader, है ना? I will not touch upon position sizing. Generally 10% stop loss, 10%, 10 positions works well for a starter beginner. But once you go on in your trading, you know that 10% is a very deep enough stop loss, and then you then find or modify your setup wherein you will get a little lesser stop loss, right? So those things, these can be discussed some other day. And selling, where to sell is also something which I have extensively discussed. In general, there are two ways to sell. One is sell on strength, and one is sell on weakness. Again, this will be depending upon what setup, what market conditions. This should differ, है ना? Now let's get into a meat of the examples. One example I want to present of a complete trading system. Again, I am not a F&O stock trader, but this is just an example of how this what's the word? This is an example of like what a trading system should look like. So what I'll do is I'll show you a dashboard here, and this dashboard I'll probably if I haven't I probably haven't shared with everyone this. So here I will go through each and every block and basically show you how I would trade only F&O stocks as a swing trader. Okay, so first things first, going back, what is the first question you need to ask? When to trade? Okay, when to trade? Whenever the momentum is at least above zero, and not this guy in here, the short term momentum is above zero, or the momentum indicator is above the 5-day moving average. So that happened somewhere here. May 14th is when we crossed back up. That means that is now the risk on period. Uske pehle, whenever the red plot was below the 5-day moving average, your longs would generally not work. Out of every 5 trades, 3 would definitely would go bad, and just 2 would work, right? So this is basically will tell you when to get aggressive in the market as a short-term trader. And these two are basically the same thing. Shows you the momentum of all F&O stocks. Okay, so again, March 14 was when we had that signal. Okay, now if you are, let's say, okay, so that is basically when to trade. Now what to trade is subset of the market, F&O trader, all the F&O stocks, and then in that as well relative strength, है ना? So for example, right now if I want to trade relative strength, F&O stock, which are the most credible ones, so I will go through this list for that. Okay, so now there are a lot of things. I'll go each of them one by one, but you don't have to have all of this on your chart. You can strip it down to its bare minimum, and there are various ways to do it. Okay, so first thing is you want relative strength. A stock to go long, you want that stock to be outperforming in at least 50-day time frame and 20-day time frame as a swing trader. Okay, so here what I have is, so D percentage is a daily change, M cap is market cap, D52 WH percentage is distance from 52-week high. Okay, so for example, if I sort it, ABB is just 0.2% of its 52-week high. Okay, that means all of this. So there are just two ways to see which are the strongest stock. The strongest stocks are the stocks which are hovering around their 52 weeks high. So if you just sort it in this way, you will see all of these stocks are really strong, and I don't have to. These are all of the stocks you already know. ABB, Havels, Zydus Life today broke out. And IRCTC, someone is having FOMO on IRCTC today. BEL, National Aluminium, Polycab, Siemens, Trent, Eicher Motors, Cummins India. So all of these stocks are really M&M, Dixon, है ना. Why? Because they are at around their 52 week highs, है ना. So just a quick sort like this will give you in general great stocks, है ना. The other way to sort the stocks for a high relative strength is to see sorry, not T, M20, M50, M100. So these M money momentum, right? So if you sort it according to highest to lowest, Crompton has the highest momentum in the last 20 days. So if you see Crompton का stock, you will see that 20 day में ये बहुत भागा है. So if you see here last 20 days, it's like last 20 days 32% Crompton, है ना. So this is like really high relative strength stock. Now 20-day relative strength is okay for a swing trader, but if you are a positional kind of a guy, then probably you are better off looking at either 100-day momentum or 550-day momentum. So if you sort M50, then you will see that VEDL, Siemens, ABB, Exide, these guys are really strong also in the 50-day time period. Okay, similarly you can sort it in 100 days. So मैं आपको high strength वाला दिखा रहा हूँ. If you really want to short, then you can do the opposite thing. So M20 में सबसे घटिया वाला, I think there is some problem in Canara Bank. The data is not correct, but you see the other names, LTTS, Aarti Industries, Birla Soft, all of these guys are like really bearish in the 20-day time frame, है ना. तो आपको अगर, for example, if you want to trade a short here on during this market regime, so then you will have to go उल्टा असेंडिंग में शॉर्ट कीजिए और सबसे जो घटिया वाला स्टॉक है उसको ध्यान दीजिए, है ना. नाउ लेट्स से अगेन, this is, I was trying to show you an example of a swing trader, but if you are a positional trader, you will have to use a different kind of relative strength rather than 20 and 50. You will have to use something called in here I have so these are all relative strength sorting method. MSC wait, so M score, MSC means M score X, M score H. These are slightly different ways of scoring. M score X में क्या करता हूँ मैं, I basically use relative strength on 3 different time frames and give them equal weight, so 20, 50, 200. Whereas in M score H, they are differentially given treatment. So 20 day will get smaller smaller hissa in that relative strength, whereas the 200 day will get a bigger slice. So if you sort according to MSCHS, you will see REC, Hindustan, BHEL, all of these are already really strong in the 200 day time frame as well, will come, है ना. So if you are a positional trader, you will probably sort your stocks like this. Now so that will basically tell you what to trade. Okay, again, subset of the market and then relative strength. Once you sort your trades according to momentum in the time frame you want, and also one very cool method is to just sort it from distance from the 52 week high. So ZEAL is 54% away from 52 week high, which means this is a very bearish stock. Okay, now the next question then comes is where to buy. So where to buy is a setup thingy. Now if let's say if you are a pakka breakout trader, then all you need to do is, let's say for example 50 day, let's for discussion's sake I will only use 50-day momentum. Okay, so once I sort this from highest to decreasing momentum, then I'll know that these guys are already the strong stocks. And after that, if during the day I see that a Crompton is breaking today, है ना, so you can just click this. Okay, Crompton is already there. You can just click this and see if this guy is breaking out. Okay, again, you might not end up getting an entry exactly on that, but if you already look at these set of stocks, you do your homework every week. These are hardly 100 and some stocks. So if you look at them every day, you will develop a memory about the stock, how it looks like currently. Like for example, Exide, I have seen Exide's chart so much in the last few days. I exactly know how Exide's chart looks like, है ना. So tomorrow, Monday, or not Monday, tomorrow if let's say Exide is 3% up, I know that it's a breakout signal. because I know like 3% up में वो line जो खिंचा हुआ है वो निकल गया है ना. So that is a procedural memory, and that is something what you can use as a breakout trader, for example. So M&M again, same thing. It's a 6% up. So for example, on a day, yo, M_M. Yeah. So maybe this is not a great place. So but on this day, you probably would have, you know, because this would also come on top. So that is one way. Now, for example, another setup. So example of another setup is, let's say I want to trade stocks which are tight, है ना. So one example I will give you is HEG. Okay, I am really interested in HEG and Exide. So HEG right now is a stock which has all the characteristics of my setup, and that is, it's a very nice flag, really strong uptrend, and then flagging, not just flagging but flagging really tightly. Okay, so if I want to get stocks which are doing this, there are two ways to do it from the chart. So once you sort it according to the highest relative strength, then what I will have to see is, so there are these things called T, just a minute, T, wait, tightness, so T20, T50 stands for tightness. Okay, so tightness 20 and tightness 50. Okay, so what is tightness 20? Tightness 20 is basically the Bollinger Band divided by its ATR 20 day. And similarly here, Bollinger Band 50 divided by ATR 50. Okay, so the smaller the ratio of Bollinger Band width divide by ATR, the tighter the stock is. Okay, so if you then go from top to below, VEDL is tight 4.68, not very tight. Siemens 8.4, not very tight. ABB 10.4, not 10.6, not at all tight. So I'll quickly show you ABB ka chart. So this is, I mean, what is this? I mean, ABB is although tight in 5-day time frame, but it's also, you know, after a decent uptrend. So I will better get someone who is like, you know, like longer tightness. 3-4 दिन का tightness वो ज़्यादा ऊपर तक नहीं जाता है, right? So then the next one you see T Exide का tightness देखो 2. So anything below 3 is good. Anything below 2 is very good. Anything below 1 is tumba chana gide good. Like really tight. Okay, so you know how tight Exide is. Hind Copper is also very tight. Indigo is apparently really tight. No. Indigo is 7 point something. I saw the ATR. So if you go below, Indus Tower is also tight, 3.18. Okay, so these are the names which I want, which is in 20-day time frame getting tighter. So Indus Tower looks like the kind of setup I would trade, है ना? So there is a prior uptrend, then there is a mass formation, and then this would have been the PBC entry, but it's again getting tighter, right? So if you go below again, T20 में, not T20, yeah. So you will find Acer Motor is also tight, 2.86. Then you go below Naukri. So itna below bhi mat jaiye, so that you lose the relative strength. So the more below you go, then the stocks are lesser and lesser strong. So you can have a cutoff, like I'll go top 50 se niche nahi jaunga, right? So that is one way. Now if you want a bigger tightness in a little higher time frame, so then what you have to do is you have to go for T50, or what you have to do is you have to sort it in a higher time frame. So M score X will give you a 200-day wala time frame, and once you have the higher time frame a relative strength, then you see again tightness. So Hindustan Copper 2.3, very tight. Yeah, the same names will come. MCX is also very tight. So let's quickly check. Like 3.4 is a decent tightness, है ना? So you will you will very easily with one click get to your stocks. Okay, so this is a very simple system. Now if you want to make the setup a little more complicated, then there are there is a there is a very nice thing which also gives you a little edge, which is, if you see, if the if the key moving averages are together, है ना? So this is basically called a launchpad setup. Whenever the key moving averages are together, then the bounce is more stronger or has more probability. So if you want to see that, then there is something called MSQS. I don't know. So this is moving averages squeeze. Okay, so moving average squeeze, the number which you should look for is anywhere near to 1. So whichever names are very near to 1, they will have all their key moving averages. So MSQS, S is where 10 and 21 is very near. SQL is where 20 and 50 is very near. So if I go and if I see, okay, quickly sort this high relative strength, and then if you go here, you see Hindustan Copper has a squeeze. It's a high relative strength stock, has tightness 2.39, and then you see that the moving average squeeze is also very good. So if you go and see Hindustan Copper, you will see that 20 and 10 moving averages would be very near to each other, है ना? So very near to each other. So this is basically also something which you can add. Again, I'm not asking you to do this, but all I'm showing you that there are so many ways using just one dashboard you can sort your system out, है ना? So that was basically setup. Position sizing वगैरह वगैरह is something which we already know really well. I have also added something else. So for example, for a day trader, ORB 5-minute plot is a very important plot to look at. So this is data. Okay, this data says that whenever the ORBO are rising and above the ORBD, your longs will work on those days. The probability of your longs working on those days are really high. So if you had traded any longs yesterday, today on FNO stocks, it would today definitely would have very high probability working, because you know that दिन में पहला 5 मिनट के बाद वो range, the stocks which broke the range were increasing and increasing and increasing, which basically means that stocks were bullish the whole day, है ना? Whereas these 2 days, like 15th and 16th, the longs probably might not have worked because they sort of gapped up and then like going sideways, है ना? So if you are only a short-term trader, then you should definitely time your market not just with this but also with this, है ना? So okay, so that was basically one setup where I just showed you how an FNO guy could make a trading system, you know, and this will solve a lot of problems for you. First of all, yeah, so if you work out a system using something like this and basically then go on a repeat, like you know that this things work, this thing work, whichever things work, you have to do it every day, and then you will know like how to, you know, manage your whole day around a very simple system. Now this is just an example of FNO. This thing can be done with, if someone only trades Nifty 50, if someone only trades indices, or if someone who trades Nifty 500, right? So for example, I trade Nifty 500. So I have this form for Nifty 500 here. I know exactly when the volume is good, when the shorts will work, when the market is like conducive for longs, which are the stocks which are very high relative strength and also getting tight, you know. You can also add so many other things here. So for example, you can add a breakout signal. So for example, just giving you ideas here. So if you plot another column here saying that close divide by close divided by Bollinger Band 20. So whenever that Bollinger Band whenever it is up on that Bollinger Band crossing, if you sort that, you will know, oh, this guy is crossing, है ना? So the idea is to just give you an example of a system. Now, quickly, before I stop and take questions, another system. Like, so for example, what I'm trying since some time now, since a couple of days now, is a system where I will just time the Nifty 500. So I will go long whenever my system says long, and I will basically sell whenever my system sells. So then that's a very simple system, right? So in that case, 100%, whatever position, whatever size you have, you go in all in. So that would have been on May 14, and whenever this guy sort of turns back, you then either exit 100% or you say, okay, 50% I will book, and then the 50% rest I will see. Hai? So that is also an example of a simple system. Hai? In that you can either do long only, or you can also go long short kind of a trader. So कहने का मतलब ये है, at the end of the day, is having a system is very important. Only if you have a system, then the element of repeatability will come. If you don't repeat something, you will never be like really good in it. It's all about practice. Like if anyone here is a very good player, football, cricket, whatever it is, you know that you might have had some talent, but you also practiced a lot. So that is what I wanted to convey. And for the HPA guys, I will quickly share this, or not this, but the FNO one. I will quickly also share once I'm done here. Okay, so I will stop here and take questions. Hi Shubha. Yes, no problem. Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that was not that. I don't. I actually I don't. I'm also on the same plate as same space as you. I also don't look at FNO stock, but like there are so many people who only make sure that this is an FNO stock because they try to hedge their position, do this, do that, right? So that is why if you know, you are so sure that I am only going to trade FNO, then why not already create a different basket and have a system only for that. So that was the point of just showing just as an example. Yeah. Absolutely better. Yup. Sharing screen. Can bank split? So, oh yeah, can bank split. Open in shared for all. What should be place? Very insightful. Ruchi, you have a question? Go ahead. Hello. Yes, absolutely. No, DTL is very difficult, man. Yeah, DTL is difficult. Hmm. Yeah. No, so that will only give you which are the stocks whose 10 and 21 moving averages are close, right? That's it. So that will not be same as finding DTL based breakouts. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay. Hmm. IQ Ultra, हाँ हाँ number. Yeah. So FNO money, that stock is in futures and options. So there you can also like buy options and do carry shorts. So this is an FNO stock, है ना, Hindustan Copper. So you will see F. हाँ इसका भी होता है, बट आई थिंक कुछ वो खुलता उलता है ना, किसी का 10% तो दिन में खुल जाता है और 5, वो मेरे को इतना ज़्यादा आइडिया नहीं है. Some other FNO people can tell, but like for example, generally other stocks are capped at 20% max, है ना, but FNO stocks can also open more than 25%. So if you remember the Adani debacle, the main Adani stock did actually fall for 25% on a single day. So those things, those rules are there. I am not very sure about it. No, I am not saying that. No. No, I didn't say that. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so did I answer your question, Ruchi? Done? Okay, great. Anil, go ahead. You have a question? Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. So if you want to do only cash stocks, then you, I mean, I don't have it, but let's say you can modify the same sorry, where is it? Ayyo. So the same thing, what you can do is you can edit here and modify and say instead of futures you can go cash. Okay, so if you do this in all of them, then you will find only cash. The data will be for only cash stocks. So for example, this is the one which I use. So for me, Nifty 500 stocks do okay. So this will have all Nifty 500 stocks, and that would also contain the FNO stocks as well. So I will also share this. So this one would probably be more useful for you. Yes, yes, yes. So yes. So for example, if so for example, so M. So I'll quickly go through. D is a daily percent change, market cap, uh, distance from 52 weeks high. So MOIL ka distance from 52 week high is 0, which means MOIL is at 52 week high today, like close at 20% and like absolute at 0, है ना. So then MSQS means moving average squeeze short. So short means 10 and 20, they will come together. MSQL means large, so long. So 20, moving average 20 and 50 whenever how far they are. So that is here. ATR is ATR 14. Tight. So see, for example, if you are a swing trader or swing positional trader, है ना, so you will definitely want tightness for at least 20 days. So you should see tightness in 20-day time frame. So let's say if you are a long term or a positional trader, then tightness on 50-day would work better. But in general, 20-day tightness is really good. So almost all the good flags, good high tide flags will come when they are tight on a 20-day time frame. So if you just sort it, so you will see that delivery, happiest mind, quest, they are very tight, but also make sure that they are also at around 52 week high. So this is also another way you can get the stocks, right? So first go for tightness, sort from the tightest stock, but then also make sure that how far are they from the 52 week high. So delivery is very tight and also just 7% away from their 52 week high, which means that this either is, I mean, it's not a very strong stock, but it's at around or at a verge of outperforming, right? So let's pick delivery, and another example is Quest. So Quest is also very tight and is also just 5% away. Okay, let's say Uno Minda, it's tight as well as very near to the 52 week high. So if you see both of these stocks, this would be a very good stock for at least swing trading. So uno minda, uptrend, and like going sideways, very tight. So these are the kind of stocks which you need. And additional information you can always get from RS rating 87, good. Anything above 80 is decent, right? Which means that it's the top 20% of relative strength performers. And then you see additional, like today would have been a day one could enter as a breakout trader, because this is a very tight range. This is clearly broken out and uh, close above, right? So the dashboard I showed you, all of these, but one can use it in a lot of other ways, है ना? So tight 20 and M50 is probably the best for swing traders. That's my opinion. And the later ones are no problem. Yes. So it means, so what it means is that the momentum means in 50-day time frame, this stock is one of the highest performing stocks, okay? But on a 20-day time frame, it is also very tight. So that gives you a flag, very good flag, है ना? You understood? So let's say I'll quickly like what I'm coding is that on a let me go to Xide, because Xide is a very good example. So here what I'm saying is that in a 50-day time frame, so last 50-day hoga like 50 bars, it's not actually days, 50 bars. So last 50 bars. So from here to here, this how much it gave? It gave 47%. So 47% in it gave in 50 days. It is one of the highest returning stock in last 50 days. Okay. So Xide is just a minute. Where is Xide? Okay, maybe. So this is hold on. ये वो नहीं हुआ है, हाँ हाँ. So Xide is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, 14th on the list of 500 stocks. So Xide is on top 14th, okay, and that shows from the chart. But here from the data we also know that in the last 20-day time frame, Xide is very tight. So tight 20 में 2 है. Okay, so if I quickly show you in the chart, if you now open the Homma endgame, you will see that the Bollinger Band is squeezed, है ना? Anil, are you looking at this? Yeah, so we know that one of the signals trader used to basically this is what this is a trading uptrend, contraction, and the break of contraction. After contraction, what happens? Expansion. So right now it is in and about going to expand from whatever this coiling happened. So that will give you stocks which are very high in relative strength as well, but also has coiled up to an extent that it is very good for another leg of swing. Okay, and because of the fact that this swing was 1 2 3 4 5 6 days, you now can expect a swing of at least 5 to 6 days, which will, I don't know exactly ये 80% देगा कि नहीं, but generally flags they work like this, right? So the length of the pole is basically also, if you extend upward, that is how technical analysts also predict what is the word, target. I hate the word target. So yeah. See, you can either look daily, or what you can do is, let's say if you see this, okay, see my idea is to only trade stocks which are at least top 200 of the entire Nifty stocks, right? So what I also do every week, you guys know this, right? That I basically download the stocks, the top. I used to do 100, but I now do 200 or even more than that. So I download top 200 stocks in 50-day time frame as well as 200-day, 100-day time frame, and then go through them and sort them. And whichever stocks are tight, I then go and put them into my tight list. So I already know, because of the work I have done on a weekend, I already know that HEG is very strong as well as very tight. I already know, like, Hudko in a 50-day time frame is very tight, also is a very outperforming stock, है ना? I'll quickly make the chart a little bit more presentable. So endgame को निकाल देते हैं. So if you do this, you will likewise. I also know that how BPCL looks like. A huge uptrend, and on a 50-day time frame it is coiling. So if you now see 50-day wala time frame, probably tight 50 में BPCL will come in, come really high. Okay. A B C D E F G B B B B B B B B B P. So हाँ, BPCL टाइट 50 में देखिए 3.36 is very tight in a 50-day time frame, because you know that 50-day tightness you can see 26, 17. So these are like not tight at all, but anywhere below 5, below 4, below 3 on a bigger base is basically tells you it's very tight. So things like IRFC, almost all the railway stocks, they are huge uptrend and now getting tight, है ना? So if you are a positional trader, then you basically have to go that route. Okay. Got it. Great. Thanks for the question, Anil. Anyone has more questions? Right. So M50 is a momentum, last 50-day momentum. तो उसमें तो 50 ही है, like that's the time frame we are calculating. हाँ हाँ. Right. हाँ, मोइल ना. हाँ, यू डोंट वांट टू ट्रेड. श्योर श्योर, बिकॉज देखो मॉइल में टाइटनेस है क्या? मॉइल में टाइटनेस है ही नहीं. 20 डे में 5.4 है, 50 डे में 9.2 है. तो ये टाइटनेस देख के आपको इसको वो कर देना है. ठीक है. ओ अच्छा, ऐसा. नहीं नहीं नहीं, देखिए. सो आप यू सी द हाइएस्ट परफॉर्मिंग स्टॉक्स शुड बी एटलीस्ट मोर देन 1%. सो देखिए M50 मतलब क्या है पता है? 1.8 मतलब क्या है पता है? 1.8 मतलब पिछले 50 दिन में, लाइक, सो 1.84 इंटू 50 करेंगे तो जितना परसेंटेज आएगा उतना परसेंटेज वो 50 डे में दिया है. सो लेट्स क्विकली चेक. सो दैट इज़ वेरी हाई ना. तो मतलब 50 दिन में रोज़ ये 1.8% दिया है. सो 50 दिन में 92 दिया है इसने. सो 1.8 इंटू 50 कितना होता है? अराउंड अबाउट 1.8 इंटू, हाँ, 90. सो समझ रहे हो? तो द नंबर विच इज़ ऑन द M इज़ बेसिकली दैट इंटू 50 करोगे तो उतना परसेंट दिया है. सो द हायर द बेटर. तो एक बात बोलूँगा मैं. अगर मॉइल को आप ये सेम डैशबोर्ड में कल देखते तो उसका टाइटनेस बहुत सॉलिड आता. ठीक है. श्योर. सो M50 में आप देख लो बिलो अबव 1. अबव 1 देख लीजिए. अबव 1 मतलब एटलीस्ट 50% दिया है 50 डे में. ठीक है. Yes, Anil. Right, 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 right. See, you will have to everything cannot be, like we can get close to the stocks which will perform, but that certainty that sometimes we seek is not possible. Okay, so for example, I'll tell you, I can get this close. How close is basically, um, how close I can get is, see here, uh, if I now just see two Exide Industries and HEG, I can, with a certain amount of probability, tell you that Exide and HEG will break out, and it will give you a very good risk to reward. Hindustan Copper will break out and it will give you a very good risk to reward. So I don't know exactly tomorrow it's gonna break out or in the next 3 days or whatever. है ना? That is why the next step is either what you do is, uh, what I do, I'll tell you my system. If you see my charts, almost all of them will have this this horizontal line, and then there will be a alarm. So because I now know that HEG is a setup which is very lucrative from risk reward point of view. Now ऐसा नहीं है कि HEG will break out and then it will go, right? It might squat also, but the thing is, using a system you can only go that far. But you we also know, because of probability works in such a way that if you do this more often, then you will more often than not catch the right stocks, because they are strong and they are also tight, with adequate volatility contraction. That means that they are accumulation heavy, and so you are basically aligning the probabilities in your favor. Uske upranth you just it's difficult, right? So Hudco didn't work today, but every other PSU stocks work today. But I can I give a guarantee that Hudco will not work? It might definitely work next week or so, coming couple of days. Okay, so it's a waiting game. It's a game of probabilities. Yeah, beyond that you can't do after a certain point, है ना? But this much is for sure. This much is for sure. I'll tell you something. This tight list has not changed in the last 1 week. Okay. So I came onto this tight list by using similar system which I am showing you today, using relative strength, tightness, blah blah blah. If I go to the weekly chart and if I show you, almost 50% of them would have done well in the last 1 week. Okay, so HEG did not do anything, 1.3. Hudco did considerably well, 12% in a week. BPCL did not do much. Lind India did 20% in last week. Aegis didn't do. So you see, like, the probability is sort of 50%. Every other stock has done well. So Tejas was in the list, 7% in a week. Lakshmi Machine 50% in 5% in a week. E-Mudra 7%. Hindustan Copper did not do well. I mean, like 2.9%. So these were the stocks which I picked, knowing that from this buckets the main this ones will come. So if you see, then around about 50% sort of have given you decent sort of returns, है ना? Zydus Life did better than the rest. So you will see, like, the data points that these things work. Okay, it's just that surety will never be there. You will have to work with uncertainty. Anyways, yeah. um, Shubha, you have a question? Right. Right. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. It's a very good question. I don't have a right answer to it. Uh, After coming so close, then your biases will come. Okay. So for me right now, I am truly biased towards Exide Industries. I don't know why. Okay. So I will wait for Exide Industries to work. Maybe it will work in 5 days. Maybe it will work in 10 days. But 20% of my total portfolio will, I mean, I'm already invested, but around about that percent I have basically gave it to Excite. Okay. So one way people, unbiased way people operate is that, out of once you have your tight list, whichever is breaking out, uh, is you go and attack that. And that is why I also employ the PBC in a algo thingy. So algo mein, because some of the names I will be very biased. So EIH Limited I will not buy. I don't know why, but I will not buy EIH Limited because I don't know what hotel is this. I just, there is some bias in me, है ना? But yeah, so after a point it will be little biased, right? So there will be some, like for example, it's very difficult for me to buy metals. Somehow I am pushing myself to buy metals. Okay, so there is a bias element, and there is also an element of familiarity. If you are already familiar, like for example, if your father works in BEL, how will you not buy BEL, है ना? Or if that uncle which you hated works in Solara, you will not buy Solara, है ना? So not sure, after a point of time, like क्या क्या आता है, that's very difficult. But Lakshmi machine I really liked. I couldn't enter today, but I really like because of the setup. So in some, the setups will give you that little bias. In my case, definitely Exide is because of the setup. Lakshmi also is big because of the setup. HEG is because of the setup. Also, really like Hindustan Copper, which I'm already in. Aegis Logistic is because of the setup. But there are some which I just cannot buy because probably I have never made money in that stock previously. So those things will come. But at the end of the day, you just, these are 19-20 का फ़र्क. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने ई मुद्रा छोड़ दिया तो आप किसी और में पैसा नहीं बनाओगे. So I think, yeah, we have to work it out in some way like that. Yes, yes, right. Mm-hmm. 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 See, in this, yeah, in this list, I'll tell you, RS इतना फर्क नहीं गिरेगा, है ना? The pattern will also not be very different. The only thing you can differentiate is the group. So in my opinion, then you should always go for groups which you know are very strong. So for example, PSUs should, if there are two stocks, one is PSU and non-PSU, I would probably be biased towards a PSU because I know like PSUs are the flavor of the market right now. If there is something which is coming out, which is from possibly metals, because they are also now getting up. And let's say in the next few 2-3 weeks, the pharma stocks, the index of the pharma index is breaking out. At that time, a couple of pharma stocks, really nice chart is breaking out. Then I will definitely put 20%, 10% in a pharma stock, right? So making sure strong stocks and little bit क्या बोलते हैं उसको, कि not put everything on one basket is also not good. Yeah. All right, folks. Long session. Any more questions? Anyone has? Okay, so I will stop here then, and wish you all a very good weekend. And oh shit, tomorrow our market is still open, right? So yeah, hopefully we have a good day tomorrow also, and wish you a good weekend, and please keep yourself, yeah, make sure you be ready with with the uh, weekend grind as well. Okay, see you all, and bye. Have a good one. Cheers.